Hey YouTube, Jeremy Wright here. Today is Monday, March 17, 2025. It's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm giving you a view of this 55-gallon Convict Cichlid tank that I set up last week. It's mostly built. I plan on tearing some stuff out of other aquariums, specifically this one. I want to get some of the, you can't even really tell. There's a bunch of jungle val in there that I would like to place in this tank, hoping that maybe the convicts will leave it alone for a little while. That might be futile, but whatever, I'm gonna try. Also, I'd like to put some of that val in an angelfish. Actually, let's go look at that. So this is one of the aquariums that those convicts came from, and you can see I put some Italian corkscrew val in here. It's basically a bear tank. There's an angelfish and a guppy. I'm sorry, a goldfish, and this is where the convicts, part of them were living, and yeah, I'll be planting, scaping, and building this tank out over coming weeks, but for a moment, it's going to get some of the jungle val, just because it's a tall tank, right? It's a tall aquarium. This is a 37-gallon, roughly cubic, and that's just one of the areas that I need to work on. But this is one of the spaces that those convicts came from. So back in here, obviously the tank on the bottom needs some work. Like, it is a total jungle, and the tank on top, I'm really happy with this. The convicts seem really happy with it also. I may try and find a bit more quartz and stack some things up. One of my thoughts is taking this area where there's a bit of driftwood and a fake fern, right? Only fake plant in my house. But this is the tank to use a fake plant in. Convicts ravage plants that are in the substrate or lower down, and that's just, something that people who keep convicts are aware of. So I'm kind of thinking that I may remove some of this stuff, add more pieces of quartz like you see out through here. I've kind of made cave-like areas. That's really something that convicts enjoy, is having a hiding spot. And they'll claim one of these holes and use it for breeding, or finding shelter when they feel threatened, or just returning home. So there's enough space here that I could add more rocks in this area and very easily create some more cave-like spots. Some people use like clay pots, terracotta pots, and lay them on their side. I don't think that looks very natural or aquarium-like, so meh. I'll probably also dig in some of my aquarium bins where I'm raising guppies, purebred guppies, different strains, and see if I can find some more Anubias like this one. And I've definitely got some Java ferns that I could try to stick in some of these areas and see if they'll hold. I'm not really a huge fan of Java. Honestly, I really wanted to keep this like a Central American tank and just use Central American plants, but Anubias doesn't really count, and fine. Also, I'm not sure red root floater counts. Pretty sure it doesn't. So I'll go through, maybe look up some epiphytic plants from Central America, see if I can find some appropriate things to place in here. But for now, it seems like a good, stable environment. I think the fish are happier than they were in either of their previous tanks. The population has, roughly doubled. And I like watching the interactions between the fish. They're interesting. And I think one of the other changes will certainly be just adding some more quartz stone. So quartz is very inert. It's not very reactive. So that's very helpful in controlling water chemistry. Sorry, I'm climbing a ladder. I basically have to keep a ladder over here because this tank is just like right up at the ceiling. You could see earlier it's above another 55-gallon tank, and years past when I had this setup going as well, I just left a ladder here. It helps with feeding, it helps with aquarium maintenance. House guests, maybe they don't like that as much. Whatever, it's for the fish, right? And yeah, I'm just kind of digging watching these things. My kids seem to like it. The people who have been over here, those house guests I was talking about, they seem to really enjoy this tank, commented on how much they liked it. It's not an overgrown jungle, so viewing is kind of easy. And I think with this bio load, it's going to be probably one of the tanks that I have to check nitrogen compounds on. Generally, my aquariums run 0 ammonia, 0 nitrate, 0 nitrite, because plants simply soak that stuff up faster than the food that I'm adding. And, that's just what it is. So like if we're to look down here, the plant bioload dramatically outweighs the animal bioload. And I may take some of the Elodea densa from this tank and add to the upper tank up here. That's really a South American plant, but for now, won't hurt anything. What else is in here? Pothos. That's just, classic house plant. Everybody knows you can grow that in some water. Not everybody knows you can grow it in your aquarium, but it's not really a secret. Mexican petunia, that's Ruellia simplex. And you can just barely see it growing up in that corner. Let's see. That's that plant with the kind of lance-shaped leaf center screen. These guys are just at it. And then also this plant grows really well up and out of aquariums, but it's an emergent plant, not a submerged plant. And there's not really enough room for them to grow up above here, so I may be looking towards things like pennywort, maybe. I think the convicts will probably tear that up. That's probably not a good idea. I'll just be thinking. So if you've got any comments or suggestions on plants that I could use in this tank. Hornwort. I've got hornwort. I'll throw some more of that in there. So there's already some in here. And they tend to allow that to survive. So I'll keep the hornwort going, and obviously it will, grow very rapidly. But Siswassertang, there's a little bit of that in here, maybe down in the bottom corners. Where was it? It was over there. There's a little bit of moss in here. That's probably Christmas moss, maybe feather moss. I think it's Christmas moss. And there are some floaters. Red root floater, Amazon frog bit, probably a little bit of salvinia, and some little pieces of pistia, water lettuce. Anyway, those things will be okay. Pistia is not my plant of choice for convicts. Also, something that's noteworthy. Right now, this is a filterless aquarium. It's large enough, and it has natural substrate, right? So this is kind of father fish method with soil under some deep sand. And you can see, compared to my finger, this is a couple of inches of sand. And in the thinner places, it's still at least 1.5 inches, but there's thick soil under that. That's a giant biofilter, right? So the trouble with this is the surface of the water is not going to be disturbed. And I really don't have any room to hang a hang-on back because this is back against a wall. Years past, I had a notch cut into the wall back under this aquarium. I've repaired it now, but I did have a notch in between the wall studs in that area, kind of under where that lamp is. And I had a hang-on back in there, recessed into the wall. That was okay, but I don't want to do that. So I've definitely gotten better with aquariums, and I know that I can run a sizable tank without a filter just fine. But I don't like not having surface motion. So earlier today I actually came through and skimmed a bit of the surface, and you can see there's still some protein film. Part of that is just from being a new aquarium, and blah, that's just what it is. Sand out of a bag, pool filter sand, soil, bunch of fish, plants that came out of other aquariums, a couple of which weren't really that clean. They were old tanks that needed maintenance and such anyway. And they came with some scuzz. And that tends to become not only a gas barrier, but it's just unsightly. And I'll probably be thinking about that, but my maintenance will probably just involve going up there with a cup and skimming the surface of the water from time to time. That's not that hard. And I also enjoy having a silent area. Like this aquarium, there's no bubbles, there's no mechanical buzzes or hums or water trickling. Like there's stuff around here, but it's a quiet aquarium. I think that gives the fish some tranquility, some peace. You're welcome to tell me what you think about that. Those are my thoughts after doing this for many years, and I just don't like noise. It bothers me. I think it bothers fish also. It might bother plants. But that's what's up for now. You'll notice there are also no snails in here. Why is that? Because convict cichlids eat snails very quickly. They might not eat trapdoor snails like Malaysian trumpet snails, but they'll still harass them. And we'll just see how things go. I may be looking into... We'll probably just keep this a species-specific tank. But that's what's up. Hope you enjoy this tank. Also, about 91% of my viewers don't subscribe. I crossed the 1,000 subscribers threshold a while back. You may notice I've got like close to 700 videos, I think, now. And it would be nice to have some more subscribers, but I understand. Just if you want to, hit that button, and if you don't, that's cool. Hope you guys have a great day.